So I had a good talk with a client the other day regarding the concept that when you're pushing for optimal or best results, you need to have an in-depth understanding of how each of the variables in your plan contributes to the overall system, whether it be a stimulus, fatigue, recovery capacity, whatever it may be. So most people, they don't ever achieve this like line of optimization. They're usually, doing something off, sleeping, training, nutrition, whatever it may be. But when you're pushing for best results, you need to have an understanding of where this line is. Like, physically, where can I push my plan to get my best results possible? So things like genetics, sleep, stress, training, nutrition, gear, right? I like to think about a plan as a symphony. All these things are like individual instruments playing together. If one's going too fast or too slow, or one's playing in the wrong tune, the sound is going to be off. The same goes for your plan. So what you need to do is spend time understanding how each of these inputs affects the system. Let's say you have a bad night of sleep. What was once your line of optimization, like you could train X amount of volume, eat X amount of food, you know how much you could handle there, gear-wise, everything's good. But now you sleep for 6 hours one night. You're supposed to train legs the next day. Well, that sleep pushes you over this line because now your recovery capacity is reduced by even a little bit. And remember, if you're pushing for optimality, that matters. Those 2 hours matter. For most people, that will never matter. But if you are seeking optimal results, you need to understand that, for example, 2 hours less sleep impacts the system in some way. Can't say exactly, the percentage it does, but it does impact it in some ways. Up to you to record these variables and the impacts so you have a better understanding of how small perturbations in these variables affects the overall, output of the system, right? So in this case, again, like the sleep creeps up because you had a bad night of sleep. Now you're into the too much realm. You extrapolate that over days, weeks, months, etc. You can see how it starts to stall your results. The reason why you aren't big yet, you aren't shredded yet, whatever it is because you have not spent enough time riding this line of optimization with every variable dialed in. You must have these variables dialed in for a period of time relentlessly. It is not okay to, if you're seeking optimality, to miss sleep one day but nail everything else. And the next day you have an unplanned cheat meal. And then the next day you skip a couple sets or do too many sets in the gym. And then you're stressed. And then you take too much or, you forget to take your gear, right? That's already like 5 or 6 variables. And even if you F up one across 5 different days, you can see how now that week is less optimal than it would have been. And then you start bouncing around this line too much and your results stall, okay? If you're looking to achieve optimal results, know and understand your inputs and how they contribute to the overall system.